Bonjour, 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 Ninaway Maganadog. I hope that you are well. Minogish God, it is a beautiful day wherever you are. I hope that this message lands with you very well. It's episode 3 of this YouTube channel, The Twilight Zone. I've also got a new Instagram channel at Grace is Your Superpower. Maybe I'll do some shorts on there. Do a little bit of Grammy type of stuff. Tonight is the third episode, and turns out that this is actually a lot of work. And I'm not opposed to work, but when you're a newbie and you don't know anything, um, and you want to do everything right, it can be a little stressful. So I'm gonna just throw my gratitude up to the angels, guides, ancestors, and guardians who are around me and hopefully are communicating with your guardians and guides and ancestors and angels. And we'll get this done. I was originally going to talk about the seven grandfather teachings tonight, but I actually feel like I'm going to put that off for another episode. And I want to be more well prepared for that. And I also want to make sure that my spirit's in a good place to be able to talk to you about that. So, coming soon. In the meantime, you are encouraged to learn about the seven grandfather teachings on your own. I will put a link to one of the resources that I use in the captions in the YouTube channel. Captions, not captions, description. Yeah. Yeah. So, what I did is I kind of wrote up a script because I'm learning how to do this. And I don't mind shooting from the hip when it comes to talking about this stuff. But there were some notes that I had taken down that I've been keeping kind of track of as part of my book writing process. And I thought tonight would be a good time to put those into the YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and read those out to you, and hopefully it turns out okay. Like I said, I'm a new person, so we'll see how this goes. All right. My mission is to familiarize and awaken the spirit of grace in humankind, one person at a time, so that we may realize, actualize peace here and now, so that our children and grandchildren may live as true human beings in a free state of being. Grace connects us to that which is made of love and resilience. Grace is a human superpower. I've said it before. It is modeled by our Creator. They hold it as a blueprint. And when we activate our grace muscles, we make ourself sacred, whether we're giving or receiving it. Now, I've said before, grace is different than forgiveness. Forgiveness is an act requiring a ton of goodwill, a lot of effort. There is a negotiation internal to the person contemplating extending forgiveness. Will this person hurt us again? Will the trust between us be healed? What is my vulnerability level if I extend forgiveness to this person? Grace, on the other hand, comes from a power place. There's less negotiation, less vulnerability, and I consider grace like the concept of balance. Like if you do yoga or anything like that, the concept of balance, you're constantly in motion trying to maintain a state of balance. The same goes for grace. You have to constantly work at being able to maintain your balance in grace. Then, when we move into that energy of grace, we create an opportunity to see not only our own soul, but the souls of others. We create harmony between ourself and our soul, which then creates an opening in the fabric of our reality for others to be in harmony with their selves, their souls. Now, I've said before, grace isn't earned. It is inherent in our being. I believe this. We are as worthy of grace as we are worthy of our soul. It it's it just is. Now, there's a concept of anthropos that I will definitely explore in another episode. Basically, this concept is accepting that we are both fully human and fully divine at the same time. And we are anthropos, whether we are conscious of it or not. We are anthropos when we eat, when we sleep. And it is in those moments that we are capable of breathing grace. It is innate in each one of us because we are unique. We each carry our own unique version of grace, and because we each carry trauma, our individual version of grace will also feel different than others. But the fundamental piece of knowledge is that we each carry the blessing of grace. And I'm saying grace a lot. I know, I'm sorry. I hope you're getting it. We carry that blessing and we're capable of activating it at any moment. Every moment that we switch our grace on, we become both fully human and fully divine. We heal ourselves and we heal others. We open the door for our spirits, not our egos, to create. And I believe the grace you grow will survive when your soul leaves your body. The grace that you inspire in others will be the light that lives beyond your physical body. I believe that grace is a bridge between the light and the dark. I believe that we've been conditioned to only see darkness in the world a lot of the times. More often than not, we are bombarded with this program so that we've learned to believe that light, that goodness must exist somewhere else outside of us. Our goodness can be muted by overwhelm. Our grace is buried by injury after injury after injury. But we have the ability to bridge that gap between the light and the dark by finding our grace, by unburying our grace and wearing it as a cloak, putting it on as a cloak to get us through to the next stage. I hopefully will be able to talk to you in another episode about grace as a um, a cloth, a cloak, um, a grand robe that you wear. And, to give you a visual image that maybe, hits home with you when you think about delving into that concept of anthropos, of being fully human and fully divine. Now, there's a lot of responsibility that goes along with that, with being fully human and fully divine. It's a concept in, at least in the indigenous traditions that I study, that you have freedom, but you also have responsibility. So you have to be able to understand that, sure, you're a free and sovereign being, and you have a responsibility. So hopefully we can navigate that piece of moving into our grace and doing it responsibly, not only for ourselves, but for others and for future generations. So, I have gone on a little while now. I do have some more homework for you, but it is the same homework as what you had before, which is to microdose grace, moments of grace. Microdose those moments of grace to yourself, to the world. Start small. We have a lot of work to catch up. I wanted to say something else too, that each one of you is here on purpose, and each one of you, I believe, is here to heal the world. Now, you're not going to heal the whole world. It's not your responsibility. It's not my responsibility. But we each have a responsibility to heal the world one moment at a time, one person at a time, one shared moment of peace and grace. Another episode coming up, we're going to talk about how grace leads to peace and how grace leads to equity. I think it's a really, really important topic to help us navigate the concept of equity as well. I have a lot of work to do to be able to get the thoughts out of my head in a way that makes sense, get the thoughts out of my soul, and make sure that they're authentic and not just me talking. So, anyway, that is it for now. And I hope that you're doing well, and I will see you at the next episode. Please share this with your friends if you find it valuable. Please find me on Instagram. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about what I'm doing here. I'm not trying to grow this huge community, but I do want to make sure that there are enough ripples in the pond um, that we can see grace really come in as our human superpower and help us heal. So, Bama P, be well.